What I think is that I just started thinking like, wow, like when I was young, I started thinking about the financial buildings, and I was like, I wish that there was skate parks. So to me, skate parks actually segregate the world, because they're like, just like what skateboarding does. I think unconsciously we go like, we're skateboarders. This is us. We're just skateboarders. But yet skate parks, I grew up skating financial districts, Boston, yep. Roger, like financial was my favorite.
That was your skate park.
Yeah, that was exactly.
Yeah.
Financial district was my skate park, so I liked public parks, and I was like, why doesn't public parks? And there are some architects starting to build stuff like this slowly, but why don't public parks and skateboarding and financial districts marry each other, and we all live together? Because all you need is Wi-Fi and a nice place to sit and your iPhone, and you can literally do business. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, so it's like, I just did a vlog about, imagine a world where an office space, a public park, and a skate park could all be the same thing.
Totally.
And I just thought, and I don't know, man. During the quarantine, like I started thinking, like when I was young, I had dreams, and I want to have new dreams now, like building skate parks like that, and doing this crash flow movement to just push skateboarding in different directions with things like that. So I just have a lot of big new dreams within skateboarding too.
Get involved with New York public, like Parks and Rec.
Yeah, like why wouldn't the government? So what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to re-social everybody's wiring, because everybody's going to be so backwards and people aren't going to want to like be in person. They're going to be like, let's just Zoom for the rest of our life.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't want to get too into it, but I honestly think people are having more connections with their computer and iPhone than they are with humans.
Right.
That's just not me. I don't like that. That's why I like dance hall. I like to be mixed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like human connection, rubbing up on girls, all that.
Well,
why not on a gap?
You talking about the financial and the marrying each other and all that stuff, and it's funny because I always say, like, it doesn't take a lot to make a skater happy.
Nope.
You put a ledge and
a
flat gap and like some tree for some shade,
right?
Like, and we'll be there all day.
Exactly.
And they spend millions of dollars on these crazy skate parks with the transition that nobody will even ever skate, probably,
That's what I'm saying.
And you got to wear your helmet.
It's like, dude, we don't need all that. Why, when the barracks started, it was a mani pad, and every pro in town was like, well, I just like skating here.
Yeah. It was like bare.
I have this, and I'm pretty sure I had the same box in my hometown. But
exactly.
People just want to, like, and that's another thing with kids in crash flow. It's like just kids can know that, like, you don't need, like, okay, I grew up with PJ Ladd. Like, the guy had nothing. And he built a box and all that, but like he got good by skating flat ground, period.
Right.
Like you don't need anything good. You don't need any obstacle but will, your own personal will to push you every day to skate. Even if there's nothing there, you skate flat ground. And that's what PJ taught me. Like I got better at flat from skating with him.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like to go back to it, it's like skate parks, I feel like they overcomplicate and they're not inviting when we could be, skateboarding doesn't need to, like, it's, it's a different world today. So there's people that I feel like new things that are more inviting to people, that like skateboarding as a group we can be more inviting and also keep it what it is. You know what I mean?
Well, we come from a generation where, like you said, like the financial district was your playground, right? It was your skate park, right? And then now we got to go into a skate park that's surrounded by a fence. And we're sitting there caged in at a skate park.
And then the cops come and give everyone tickets.
Yeah, like what?
I didn't even think about this right away, but actually, so I'm doing a blog right now for Crash Flow about this. And my friend Joe, this guy I met because I put an ad out for some interns, and he hit me up. He said, well, I'm not really good at da-da-da, but like, I'm a writer. I'm like, you're a writer? He's like, yeah, I studied philosophy. And so he had this whole amazing philosophy about skating as a public sphere, as an atmospheric condition and how it attracts things. But we started agreeing upon like, wow, like skateboarding fences itself in. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we actually do unconsciously, I think, as like skaters in the industry or whatever, like we need to be more open to bringing people in with keeping the roots of keeping as crazy as skateboarding can get out of control with the music and the slams and the like skate parks get a little
Yeah, the more people that skate, the more accepted.
Yeah, but it's like people want to hang out in the skate park. Like, look, I go to LES all the time, and that's like, it's New York City. All like girls want to come in, but they're a little bit more scared. And that's another thing. Like, we definitely need to work on being more like of a place where women can come and skate. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they felt as welcome because we were just so like, you know, like just badass skater.
Even like a young kid coming into a skate park is very intimidating. It's very intimidating.
It's intimidating.
Yeah. Like going to a skate shop is intimidating. Like, you know, like a cool guy skate shop, you're like, oh, as a kid, it's tough.
Kelly, that's a great point because look, all right, so because I started Crash Flow, I've been looking at skating differently from a teaching perspective because I never thought, I'm not like trying to be a skateboard teacher or anything. It's just that like when I went to Jamaica, I couldn't help trying to like, educate. You know, teach kids how to skate, you know? And then I was like thinking more in this direction. I was like, wow, actually, I was so selfish. I have more to offer. So when I go to a skate park and I see a kid struggling, I literally go over to him and like, I teach him how what I can. You know,
yeah,
awesome, I feel like that's giving more in a sense.
Yeah.
But so I was in the park. I was actually with my people that I meet up and dance with at Prospect Park, Brooklyn. And this little kid was like on his board and I saw the mom and I was like taught him a thing or two. And then I was like, I'll give him a free lesson if whoever wants to come. Like, whatever. I started this. I told her about Crash Flow. I was like, yeah, you guys should check it out. And she's like, oh, cool, yeah. And she DM'd me like, are you around? I was like, yeah, I'll be. They came to LES one day, and they wouldn't walk in the skate park. And I was waving from across. They wouldn't enter in. I was like, guys, like, you come down into the skate park.
Because it's like
I can imagine like kids like being the first time. It's like I remember my first time. It was intimidating. I was definitely like Maximus was the first time I went anywhere. You know what I mean? I was just like death. Like it was just like the sound of skateboarding is intimidating. It's like
oh, you got people flying all around, and you don't want to get into anybody's way.
And you're like, where do I skate?
Right.
I don't even know how to ride down the ramp. It's
imagine it's hard. We don't think that because we're like, yeah, this is it. Like, but then because it's so every day for us. But like when I go into LES and I want to go skate, I'm like a lion in the den. I'm like, I'm like, because it's LES Park too. Like it's no joke there. Those kids rip and they're just gonna like get in your way or do whatever they want, you know, unless you just, you know, get it in.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah, man.
Unless you just rip it up.
Rip it up. I love it.
But I can only imagine now too. It's like, but my point is, I mean, skateboarding can be more open and continue. Like, man, I just think that. Okay, another thing I was like really interesting to think about is Machba. I love Machba because it's just this melting pot of a place where everybody goes. It's basically a skate park.
It's a circus.
Dude.
So that's like, I'm like, why don't skate parks look like that?
Yeah. And that's what I was saying. What is that? What's at Machba? Flat ground, a ledge, and like a manual pad that goes in a slant. It's not even really, it's like a half manual pad, but
it's a great place to hang out and have
it's
fun.
And there's 3 things to skate there.
It's like the location is insanely key with the architecture that was put there.
Yes.
And how that whole Wi-Fi. Country, there's
Wi-Fi.
There's Wi-Fi, right? Yeah. The country though, the way that, dude, Spaniards are just so nonchalant and relaxing almost in a weird, you know what I mean? Where that's totally
they
accepted.
mind their business.
Yeah. And they're, you know, when you go to Machba, it's very welcoming.
Like plazas over there, they're meant to just be enjoyed.
Yeah.
Where here, they're like, don't touch anything. Like you shouldn't even be sitting here. Like,
yeah, we built this thing for people.
Yeah.
Well, we're people.
That's the thing. So when I actually went to Spain before everything happened, the shutdowns, and I was like really looking around, like this is a very advanced architectural city. And another thing people don't understand that we need to embrace more as skaters. That like we know, but we should really understand. Like we look at the world differently, and we should always be conscious of that. That like we appreciate architecture differently, you know. And it's like we actually have a bond with architects. Like I have a friend who's a designer. He's like an avant-garde furniture designer, and he's actually an old school skater. Roger, you might know him, Jonathan Oliveira. He's from Boston. He was in the 3D video. He slammed trying to like, I don't know if you know, but he's like this avant-garde designer.
I think I remember the name.
Yeah. So the kid I knew from Boston when I was kids, but now we've been like, I got back in touch with him and we talk all the time about the future of designing, architectural spaces with skating. So it's kind of been this ongoing conversation that I've been thinking about. But he always talks about, so he did Harvard actually asked him to do a write-up about the future of office spaces, and he chose the barracks as his example, and he wrote about the barracks. Wow. And I agree. And the thing I love about Steve at the barracks too is I will say the barracks was just he was just I don't want to say in the future, but a fast forward thinker, the way the office set up. And then Jonathan came to Diamond, and Diamond has a skate park. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because the downstairs of Diamond is where most people are. It's a skate park. And then he's like, this is what an office should look like. It's skate park and then laptops and chairs.
Right.
That's what an office should look like, or interactive things. And then Diamond has this other part where it's old school offices. And he's like, I don't know why they kept that. So
interesting.
I don't know. I'm not jumping around a little bit, but basically it's been this ongoing conversation I've had with my friend Jonathan, and now this philosopher kid who we're writing a blog about it. And we're going to talk about skating as a sphere, as a public sphere, and how, we're so, not to toot the horn of skating, but we are so influential, especially in New York. I feel like people are always biting the styles of skaters because they're in the public sphere, pushing through the atmosphere with clothes, and Keith is someone I love, Shredmaster Keith in New York. I love his style, everything he does, and he linked up with this kid Issa when he was young, a good friend of mine, who has a real specific style, a real old school, slick style, and then Keith's style changed. But I feel like he's so there's just fashion people left and right in New York that are just Keith, they just love him, and
amazing.
I don't know. I just think that skating, it's just aggressive in the atmosphere.
Hey, it's what shaped all of us, man. Yeah. Seriously. I love it though, man. The Crash Flow.
Yeah.
Go check it out, dude. Hey, you got a couple new subscribers over here.
Yep.
Yeah. What's up? That's what's up. Yeah, man. No, it's fun, man. It's a journey, so I'm excited.